We are following a major case before the Supreme Court that could reshape how mail-in ballots are counted across the country. At the center of it, a Mississippi law passed during the pandemic that allows ballots to arrive up to 5 days after Election Day, as long as they are postmarked on time. Conservative justices raised concerns the rule could open the door to fraud. Right now, 14 states and D.C. allow some ballots to be counted after Election Day. That includes Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia. But most swing states still require ballots to be in by Election Day. Joining me now to break it all down for us is Justin Hansford, a professor at law at Howard University School of Law. Professor, thanks for joining us tonight.
All right, thanks. Glad to be here.
So first of all, tell us what stands out to you about this case.
Well, the obvious thing that stands out is the fact that this is a case that was brought by the Republican National Committee, 4 Republican-led states, the Trump administration as well, litigating this case. And although the legal question may be about Election Day laws, the political question is about who gets to vote. And we know that disproportionately, those people who have hourly jobs where it's difficult for them to take off time to get to the polls are more likely to have to rely on mail-in balloting. People who are elderly, people who have problems with disability, who may not be able to travel to the polls as effectively, and also people who don't have access to transportation, poor communities, Black and brown communities. These are the communities that will disproportionately be harmed by a limitation on mail-in voting, and based on how the litigation is panning out and who's bringing the litigation, it's hard to avoid the thought that this might be the whole point.
And there are so many people, as you point out, who will be impacted. What about for people overseas or members of the military? What's at stake for them?
It's the same thing is at stake for them, people who are overseas who rely on mail-in voting. The Postal Service itself acknowledges that there are times where the Postal Service makes mistakes and the Postal Service loses mail, and the Postal Service doesn't put the proper date on the mail. So there are many opportunities for people to be disenfranchised. And the real question is, when you limit the voter pool, who wins and who loses in that debate? And I think oftentimes we can look at who's behind the litigation and judge from that who people think will lose and who people think will win. And we're already in a political fight, and it's hard to not to acknowledge that this litigation is part of the political fight itself.
Indeed. We know there's a lot more to this conversation, but Professor Justin Hansford from Howard University School of Law, we thank you for providing some of your insight for us tonight.
All right. Thanks for having me.